Hello everyone! So for today's video I am going to be doing this full face of makeup that I used to love. So I'm basically doing a full face kind of like makeup look using products that I used to love, so from about 2 years ago or even just like a year ago, or maybe products that you've seen in my videos quite a lot, and I decided to do a look out of them, and a few of them I've actually really liked, so I might start using them again. And they're also kind of joined with products that I don't really use, so this is the look I came up with. I'm not sure if the lips match the eyes, but I really do like how the eyes turned out. So yeah, I talked about every product in the video, so I hope you enjoy it. Give it a big thumbs up and let's get started. Okay, so the first product I'm going to be using is a primer. Now I will be honest, I do use this primer quite frequently. It's just I only literally have like 2 primers, so I thought like I may as well just use a primer that I don't use as much as the other one. So the primer I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Baby Skin. Now if you remember, I used to use this all the time in my videos, and I don't really feature it too much anymore just because I feel like it's a bit too oily for my liking, and I know it just doesn't really suit like what I want in a primer. I'm just gonna pop it on my cheeks, forehead and chin. So I just think this primer is so like greasy, which is probably why I don't use it very often anymore, just because of that. Like the actual like, it leaves a nice base and it keeps your makeup on a lot longer, but I just don't like the feel of it on my face, if you get what I mean. But it's bearable if you use like a tiny amount. So now I'm going to move on to foundation. So I used to always mix these 2 foundations. So these are the Miss Sporty Perfect Stay in the shade Ivory and the Rimmel Stay Matte in the shade Light Porcelain. So I basically used to mix these together because this one's a very like moussey thick consistency and this one's quite runny and like liquidy. So I'm going to be using my beauty blender, and I'm just going to see how it goes. So I remember I used to always do like a pump of this one and like just a tiny bit of this one because I remember kind of thinking it was a bit too thick. So that's what I'm going to do. So I don't remember these being bad, I just found better foundations since using these, so that's the only reason why I don't really like tend to use these anymore. But I remember I used to absolutely love the Miss Sporty one. That was definitely my favourite, but as you can see it doesn't have any coverage like at all. Like it kind of just makes your face look red, which obviously isn't a good thing. Like I'd say it's a good beginner foundation, but if you're looking for a foundation with coverage because you might have bad skin or you just want to look flawless, then this definitely is not a good foundation combination because they don't really do anything. As you could probably see, I'm looking very pale. Like I don't know, I just don't like how it looks. So the concealer that I absolutely used to love was the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer, and I'm pretty sure I used to use this like every single day, and I don't use this anymore just because I don't like the coverage. I just don't think it's light enough, I don't think it's got enough coverage, and I just generally just don't like it. But I used to love it, so that's why I'm going to use it. I'm going to like put it in the normal places. I'm just going to put it like under my eyes, but as you can see it's literally darker than the foundation, and it's in the lighter shade, so I don't know how I used to get away with this, but actually to be fair I probably didn't get away with it, but wore it anyway. I remember this was my first ever concealer and I literally loved it. It blends nicely, just the colour's just not light enough. That's probably the biggest like downside for me personally.
So I'm so sorry, but I just come to editing this and realising that the rest of the concealer and powder footage got lost, so I used the collection pressed powder and that's about all you missed, so yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, so now moving on to contouring or bronzing. I used to always love using the collection contour highlight and sculpt kit. I sometimes use this, but I don't really like it anymore because I feel like it's just a bit too dark for my skin tone. And I never use the highlight because I've never liked it, but that's what it looks like. I just find that it's really dark, but it's not bad, I just don't use it. Oh god, look at that. Oh no, I don't think it looks that bad, just very dark, and I've put way too much on my forehead. Okay, so now we're moving on to blush. So you probably know that I used to always use the Miss Sporty Instaglow blusher in the shade Flushed Pink, I literally don't wear blush anymore because I just don't like how it looks. But for the purpose of the video, I'm going to use this on this Spectrum brush. So I'm just going to go like that, and then just... I like how this gives you almost a highlight kind of look as well, because it means that if you can't be bothered to do a highlight, you could just add a bit of blush. But I think it looks really nice, and I genuinely do really like this, and I think it's one of my favourite brushes that I have. I just don't use it, and I probably should. So now for highlight. The highlight I always used to use was the MUA Undress Your Skin highlighter in the shade Pink Shimmer. I generally don't use this at all because I hate the colour of it. It's like an iridescent pinky colour, and just personally I'm not a fan of colours like this, but I'm gonna try and make it work. But I just feel like it's very hard to suit. Pink highlighters are kind of a hit and miss. Like it's very glowy, like the actual highlight is really good, but I just don't like the colour at all, really. The MUA highlighters are very, very pigmented, and I would recommend them, just probably not in this shade. Okay, so sorry for the really close angle, but I zoomed you in a bit so you can see what I'm doing for my eyebrows. So the product I'm going to be using is the Freedom Brow Pomade in the shade Dark Brown. Now I only recently purchased this, or like a few months ago, and I loved it at the start, but now I really don't like it. I just feel like it's really dry, and I'm going to try and make it work. Not too sure how well it's going to go, but ignore my eyebrows, I really need to sort them out. Really don't like it. I feel like it's really drying out, and it's not, it adds nice colour like on this eyebrow, but when you actually need to draw them on, I feel like it doesn't work at all. So I think that's all I'm going to do with the brows. I mean, they don't look the best, but it's the best I can do because my pomade has completely dried out. So now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. So the eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, because I used to absolutely love this about like a year ago, 2 years ago, and I do think it's really pretty. I just really don't think it's that pigmented, and the shades are quite light and you can't really do much with them, but I'm going to try and create a nice look with this. So I think first I'm going to take the shade Limit, which is a light colour, and I'm basically just going to put this through the crease, just to kind of use as a transition shade. Then I'm going to take the shade Nuno, which I'm pretty sure is just like a darker version of the shade that I've just used. So I'm going to use this again in the crease just to darken it up. And I do feel like this palette has a lot of fallout, which is obviously a downside to it. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Black Heart here, and I'm kind of just going to do a little bit of this, put it in the outer corner. I'm going to take the shade Liar, and I'm going to put this like all over the lid basically. So I quite like how the eyeshadow looks, but I'm going to take a bit of the highlight that we just used before, the MUA one, and put that in my inner corners. I'm also going to take that up under my brow bone. So that is the eyes. I quite like how that looks actually. So if you didn't already know, or you didn't watch my videos ages ago, I used to always use the Miss Sporty Studio Lash Dark Lasher Mascara, and I used to rave about this in every single one of my videos because it was my only mascara, and I used it because it was kind of like a dupe for the Benefit Roller Lash, as the one's like curved. But I'm going to use this because I used to absolutely love it. The only thing is, it's really like wet, which kind of makes your eyelashes droop a bit, but it's not that much of a big deal. Okay, so I really like the mascara. I just feel like it's a bit wet, so it kind of makes your eyelashes droop and kind of, not clump, but kind of just like mingle together. I don't know how to explain it, but that is what it looks like. I quite like it actually. Okay, so now for lips, I'm going to take the MUA Fawn Fancy Matte Lipstick, as I always used to use this. So it's basically just like a matte nude, and I really, really like this. I just don't use it, and I used to love it. so much. I always think it's a bit like thick and drying, but like the actual colour is really nice. I'm not really too sure if this lip goes with the look, but honestly, I don't know. That is the end of my full face using products I used to love. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do like how the eyes turned out. I think they look really nice. And the only thing that lets this look down for me is the highlighter, because I just personally don't like pink highlighters, but if you do, then that's great. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!